There we go. I am Nikki Medoro. Thanks for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. I'm Nikki Medoro. Kim McAllister is rushing over to be on the show, so don't worry. She is coming. She texted me and said, "I know I'm muted. hopefully you guys can hear me. She's going to be on the way. She texted me. She's rushing over. She's doing something. So Kim will be here. So, and we'll hopefully get an update on her mom as well. Thank you all for being here. It's hot where I am. Hopefully, it's not too hot where you are. It was like 90 something degrees when I was driving around today. But thank you guys for being here. Please click that thumbs up and that subscribe button if you have not subscribed to the Nikki Medoro Show yet. But thank you all for being here and supporting the show. As always, we like to remind you if you can support this show because it's 100% crowdfunded, all the ways to support the show are in the show notes. Patreon, PayPal. We love PayPal. We absolutely love PayPal. Super stickers, super chats. You can donate during the show. We give you a shout out live during the show. And boy, do we have a packed show today. We are going to talk about the Epstein, the latest with the Epstein. I don't know if you also know something happening at 6:00. Have you heard what's happening? We may dip in around 6:00 California time because we're in California. But Senator Ron Wyden, he's a Democrat from Oregon. Have you guys heard about this? Apparently, he's going to be going live on YouTube, so we might dip in. So he's the top Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee. So he promises tonight at 6:00 our time in California, Pacific, 9:00 Eastern, he's going to reveal a full breakdown of the Follow the Money investigation on Epstein. So we might dip in towards the end of the show to see what's kind of going on there. But we'll be talking about a little bit the latest on the Epstein. I'm not giving up on this. I don't think anybody else is giving up on this. Ghislaine Maxwell has said she's going to testify. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. I don't think that any of the Democrats, I don't think anybody that's an American should be giving up on this. But we'll see what happens. Kim McAllister, you ready to go? She is there. Let's bring her onto the show. Hello, my friend. How are you?
It's I'm good. How are you? I'm good. What are you doing? What's going on? Oh, you went away. Now you're muted.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm good. I don't know. You switch us back and forth. I'm good. I'm hot. I don't know if it's hot up in Petaluma where you are, but I'm freaking hot down here. How is Mama? I told everyone I would promise.
Oh, my mom is getting better and getting frustrated because we're around her 24/7.
Okay.
Right. We're not leaving her alone. Yeah, and that's what the hospital said to do. Not that we would have anyway. And she had a doctor's appointment today. And the doctor said, yeah, you need to have someone with you for the next 3 weeks. So, and like the other night, I try to let her do things on her own. You know, she doesn't need help getting dressed. She doesn't need all these things. And it's good for her to do stuff on her own. So well, she'll be like, she has and her bedroom is kind of, the bathroom is open toward her bedroom. Like you go around a corner. So I said, Mom, how you doing in there? Fine. You need any help? No, I just need 5 minutes alone. And I was like,
leave me the hell alone. Well, you know what? That's a good sign. Yeah. Kim, that's a very, very good sign. Well, good. Yeah. I just wanted to get a quick update because all of us love you and love you know, your whole family. So I'm good. I'm glad to hear.
Good. And today is Julia's 16th birthday.
Happy birthday to Julia. Oh, I know. My God.
Sweet 16.
What are we doing?
Well, she was one of these, I don't want to do anything. I
remember you telling me
I don't have any friends. I don't want to do anything.
Right. Whatever.
Woe is me. And she ended up doing a lot. And so we ran up really quickly, shoved in a little trip to Lululemon.
Oh, and a little trip, a little expensive trip.
Well, it has to be a little trip because I can only afford one item at the place.
Exactly. Like one pair of leggings. Something.
Exactly. You know, you got to go. But on the way back, we hit traffic and I was like, oh, I'm not going to make the show.
No, never worry. Well, happy birthday to Julia from the Nikki Medoro Show and all of us.
Yay.
16. That's a big one. And believe me, once they hit 16, now she's still working on getting her license, correct?
She has her driver's permit. So she drove to Santa Rosa on the freeway. That was fun. In traffic. And she's been driving everywhere. Everywhere we go, she's in the driver's seat. So yeah.
it's fun. I will say this, my daughter has been very good. I'm loving it. She's been home. She's been meeting curfew. Summer's been fine.
Mhm.
So I think Julia will be great. So
Those first few times that you drive with your child, though, the giving up control to them
it's
is
hard.
so weird.
Yeah, it's
Ugh,
hard. And then you see what kind of driver they are, and you're hoping
uh-huh.
all the lessons went through. But yes, breathe in, breathe out, and let go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, good.
I
Happy birthday, Julia. We love you. Okay, so let's get into it. The big story that I wanted to talk about here in California, and I guess nationally, Kamala Harris has decided she is not going to run for California
Mhm.
governor.
Yeah.
Your initial thoughts, my friend?
I am not that surprised,
No, I'm
and
not
it
surprised
seems
either.
to me from the I mean, she really had imagine going through that in
Mhm.
that amount of time. What an amazing letdown after
Of course.
that the election was, and then everyone's talking about you and why you lost and all your mistakes and judging you. There's all this judgment. I wouldn't be surprised if that woman never wants to go back and run for office again. That's not what she says. She
No.
says she's not done with public service, and she says
Right.
that she's getting ready to campaign on behalf of Democrats.
Right.
But perhaps she will run in 2028. Perhaps
Oh,
she's setting her sights back on national office. And the question for Democrats is, if she lost last time, was it the amount of time that she had to prepare and run? Was
right.
that the problem, or was there something else? Did people not like her here to be judgy on her again? Did people not
Right.
like her as a candidate for some reason? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's a woman of color? And what we now know that even if you weren't paying attention before, what we all now know is at stake with
Yeah.
these MAGA people that get in
Right.
there is so important that if you tell me we're not voting for a woman, we're not voting for a woman of color, we're not voting for a gay man, we're not pick a different. If you're
Right.
indifferent in any way, you're not going to win, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a woman. If it's offensive to me, but if the only way we can win is with an old white dude, then pick the best old white dude we've got because we have to win. Like, there is
Yeah.
no choice. What is happening right now is scaring me because America is changing and not for the better.
Yeah. So you
So,
want to, so you're saying the next candidate we choose, we need to choose the safest kind of
absolutely,
candidate
we need
possible
to
out there.
choose a shoe-in. This has to
Yeah.
be you have to say, like, I don't want to hear someone from the Midwest going, well, I just can't vote for a
Yeah.
woman. Well, I just can't vote for the gays. Whatever. I, all things being equal, throw me a straight old white dude. Fine. That's not going to, you know, tear
Ugh.
families apart and take a big you know what on the Constitution of the United States. Find me someone that will care about the environment again. Find me all of these things that are important to us. If we have to, take a minute, and maybe that's not very progressive of me, but I just think there's so much at stake right now that
Yeah.
fine. If you're not progressive enough, if you're not, you know, with
Or
it
we could get
enough,
a Trojan horse. Like you could be progressive, but you just look like, you know what I mean? Like we have a
sure.
progressive wrapped in a
A
that
white dude, the
antiquated. Yeah,
old white
exactly.
dude. That's what I'm saying.
Like
Find me a white dude
we need a Bernie Sanders.
that's
Basically,
not
that's
gonna
not Bernie
screw up our
Sanders.
country. Right.
Exactly, exactly. Mindy says, I don't want to go through voting for Kamala again if people aren't going to support her. I think America shuns women. Like
Right. I do too.
and Heather
And
says
yeah,
MAGA's a cancer. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
We
do we
we
have to like cut out MAGA and have a time? You know what I mean? We need remission.
mm,
We have to have
I know.
years of remission
So
before we start,
here's the problem with it. And as my husband loves to tell me, Trump isn't the disease, he's the symptom, right? That
Mm,
all of this anger and this hate and this nastiness is simmering in
mm.
America. And all it took was one guy like him to come to the fore and stir the pot, and up it all bubbled up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
do we get rid of MAGA just because we reelect someone else? I mean, is most of the country still angry in their houses talking about the brown people? What
Mm.
what is it going to take to be, I don't know, to be kind people, to be like normal again. What is that? Are we ever going to get
Were
back
we
to that?
ever normal? Were we
Perhaps
ever?
not.
I mean, when
Perhaps
you
not.
can run on Make America Great Again, I
Yeah.
don't think that we ever really got rid of it. Teacher Lori, Andy Bashir, Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
That's
like
right.
that's a good candidate.
Yeah.
He's been making his rounds. I think he's definitely laying some groundwork.
And I hate to pick a candidate just based on those attributes, just like I hate to pick a candidate based on whether they're a woman or whether they're a black
Of
man or whether they're
course,
whatever. It's a side
but it's
benefit that
politics,
we get a first, right? You want to pick the best candidate, not the best woman or the best man or the best different. You want to pick
right?
the best person. But now we have to pick the straight white dude. That's how it feels to me, even though in my heart I know it's wrong, but in my head, I just want to win.
And I'm a huge Pete one. So like
Mhm.
obviously the ding is that he's gay. I just in my heart of hearts, I feel like people
Oh,
can look past it.
he's
But
my favorite. I love that man.
if
Yes.
he runs, I'm voting for him. I don't care. I just can't not.
No.
I can't not vote for him. If he doesn't make the primary, I'll vote for whomever else. But if he's in obviously if he's in the prime, I can't not vote for Pete Buttigieg. I'm
Imagine
sorry.
how great the parties would be at the White House. Yes.
No, I do not think that people would do that though. You know
No, they
what I'm
wouldn't.
saying? Like he
Yeah.
wouldn't, it's not that it would be that. It
Yeah.
would be sane. Yvonne says Kim's right, unfortunately, to get back on track for democracy,
And
white and male.
I
It's
hate
so
that I'm right. Like,
antiquated.
I
I
wanna
know.
stab myself in the eye for being right. I don't like this, but this is where we are. And
Mm.
so, logically, you have to meet people where they are. But as far as Kamala Harris, she is wonderful, and I wish her success, and I hope that she sees success in the future.
Well, this is interesting, Kim, because this is the flip side, and this is what I was thinking when she decided not to go for governor. You think she'd want to go for the win because everyone was saying she was a shoo-in to win. You know? Like
Yeah.
you think after all the pain and the ego hit, you'd want
Yeah.
to win. And everyone was saying if Kamala goes for governor, she's a shoo-in to win. And everyone was like, and the fact that she didn't do it was like, okay, what does she want to do? Either, like you said, either she's going to help Democrats, right? Which
Mhm.
obviously she's going to do, and then 2028, I think 2028 is too soon. Honestly. I think
For
that
for
2028
who?
for
For
Kamala Harris.
Kamala?
I don't think she should run in my opinion, I do not think she should run in 2028. It's going to carry too much baggage of both Trump running against Trump and Biden. She needs more. She's young. In the grand scheme of everything, she's
She's
young.
older than us. She's in her, what, late
She
50s?
looks good though. She looks
60? Was
good.
she pushing 60? I just feel like I want a president around that vintage, late 50s, early 60s. Let's get somebody that has a more youthful vigor in there that's so completely different when they're standing next to someone like Trump. If he
Yeah.
decides that he thinks it's okay for him, if they finagle a way to rip up more of the Constitution and have him run again in 2028.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Ren says whoever's in charge needs to focus on regular people. The
Yeah,
government should only exist to help and support the people in the country.
that's
And
right.
this is the hard part. It's like, and that's why we have a hard time saying it should be white and male. It's because there's all of these other people that have felt so ignored for so long, and finally they felt heard. And now are we just going to be pushing them to the sides again? We hope not. Even if we do elect a white male candidate, that their voices will still be heard. That's the promise that we would hope, that if we elect a white male Democrat to the White House, that we're not going to be ignoring the voices of those
Mhm.
marginalized communities.
Right. I agree with you. But at the same time, they're shoving our voices to the side right now,
Right.
right? Shoving all of this stuff down our throats. So while I don't condone turnabout as fair play in every circumstance, and I know that in order to get us back to where we need to be, we have to hold out hands and try to meet in some middle ground area, it seems to me like the MAGA people are so far away from me that I don't know if we can meet somewhere.
Although I'm just teasing a story. I don't want to talk about it right now, but there's a story I do want to talk about when we're talking about issues and how are we really tone deaf to what America really cares about? We're going to talk about that American Eagle ad and like the outrage of that. And sometimes are we tone deaf? Are we getting outraged about things that really matter? Because we'll talk about that ad, and because Donald Trump had come out and said, this is why I won, because you guys care about this bullshit. And it's totally crazy. But we'll talk about that later. But again, the issues that Democrats choose to focus on, I support, right? I just think that when we choose our candidate, we have to be smart. Yeah. Now, let's talk about governor. Now that Kamala Harris is out. Now,
who are my choices, Nikki?
Well, I think there's only one choice. Everybody knows who my one choice is.
Yep, I'm with you.
And it's Katie Porter.
Bring out that whiteboard, girlfriend. Let's do it.
God. I mean, Katie Porter, hands down, is the front runner. Everyone says it. Everyone says, let me play you an ad. This is the ad I just saw on, she just shared it on X. But it's 3 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole 3-minute ad. But she's like, and I know that's on social media, so I don't think obviously this is not going to go on television, but listen to her potty mouth.
Californians hear a lot of excuses from elected officials.
That's a complex problem. That's proving challenging.
That's not my job.
It's too hard.
What a bunch of bullshit. What we need is new ideas, a willingness to take on dangerous leaders and their corrupt enablers, the courage to lead in this moment. It's going to take all of that to solve the challenges that we face right now: a rapidly changing economy, a dangerously changing climate, costs that are out of control, housing and healthcare out of reach for millions, and fundamental rights that are in jeopardy. What California needs now is a little bit of hope and a whole lot of grit. Fresh blood and new ideas, and leaders with the backbone to fight for what's right. That's why I'm running for governor.
And then she goes on. I mean, you have, in my opinion, Katie Porter is the only candidate for governor for California. Hands down. Hands down. She is the candidate. She'll bring out the whiteboard. She'll hold people's feet to the fire. She will be also fiscally responsible, which I think is what Californians are dying for, especially Republicans in.
Uh-oh, you froze up. Especially Republicans, I think she was going to say, and those in the Assembly and the House. But who, as Nikki leaves and comes back, hopefully, who are the choices right now for California governor? Who else is running? What are your other choices? You've got Katie Porter, right? Kamala Harris is a no-go. I don't know, who else do we have? I typed in races and they're telling me running races, but yeah, who else is running? I think it's Bonta, right? The California Attorney General is in the race as well. And is it Villaraigosa? One of the former sheriffs in Southern California is running as well. So I don't know. I mean, I think we'll see. The field will become more crowded and we'll find out. I don't think that we lose something with not having Kamala Harris run, because I think that we have Katie Porter. If she wasn't in the race, then maybe I would be floundering, wondering who I was going to support. But I agree with Nikki on this one. I definitely think that Katie Porter has a lot of support. You know what she reminds me of is, I know this is, it's a PTA reference, but it's moms who get stuff, but the other word, moms who get stuff done, who just take this no-nonsense approach and get it done. Not like Trump getting it done, skirting laws and everything else, but moms who just make things happen. Here's what we want. Here's what we're going to do. So I have a lot of hope for her. I think it's good. So Kamala Harris, though, has spent really most of this year laying low, out of the public eye. And with her decision not to run for the governorship of California, she does say she'll get back into the public eye a little bit. And the question I have for everyone here in the chat is, and Nikki, do you think that Kamala Harris campaigning for other Democrats in congressional races, especially in the midterms, which we know are so important? Is she a benefit or is she a hindrance when you're looking at Democrats around the country? If she campaigns for you, do you have a better shot? Or should she remain staying low for a while? I don't know. At some point, she's going to have to come forth and put herself back in the public eye. Yeah, I don't know. She was definitely considering that run, though. Talked to a lot of confidants, did a lot of exploring. I don't know. As she says, her quote is, "I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans." Clearly, she has her own plans, and maybe she's not done on the national stage. As mentioned, though, by Sue Ann, whoever's in that governor seat is going to have to deal with Trump and company, right? As we work to get funding in California, as they threaten to withhold funding from schools, as they threaten to withhold funding from sanctuary cities, as they threaten to withhold funding for natural disasters like earthquakes and wildfires and things like that. So whoever it is has a challenging road ahead of them when it comes to having to deal with Trump. I will say Gavin Newsom, though he's poking the bear right now and constantly reminding everyone about Epstein and posting videos about Trump and Epstein, when it comes time to get the money for California, he somehow has a way to finesse Trump a little bit. And in that way, I'm glad because we need the money. So I know it sucks to have to kiss his ass, but we got to do what we got to do to get people's houses rebuilt and to pay for emergencies, right? Who is running for CA Gov so far? 2020, is it 2026? Is that the governor's race? Yeah, who is running? So Katie Porter is running. No one talks much about our Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. She is running as well. Antonio Villaraigosa is running. That's the former mayor of Los Angeles. He was also, by the way, served as the co-chair of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2012. Javier Becerra is running. He was California's attorney general. And then was a member of Congress as well, was also the Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Biden. Tony Atkins, who was a longtime California representative and was the Speaker of the California State Assembly. We're talking about people who are running.
Yes.
Betty Yee, who was our state controller. Stephen Klubeck, an American businessman who founded Diamond Resorts. Tony Thurmond, he is the secretary or the California State Superintendent of Public Instruction, and I've liked what he's done in that role. And then Republicans so far lining up: Chad Bianco, Riverside County Sheriff; Steve Hilton, former Fox News host, that's what we need, and a supporter of Trump. And then the Green Party is running a man named Butch Ware, who's a hip-hop artist and a professor.
No, now this is all I'm going to say. I think there's no freaking way that anybody is going to, California is not going to go Republican. Although there's a lot of scary crap happening, with the homeowner insurance rates and all that kind of stuff. So I could see people thinking this could be the time, right? But I really don't think that California is going to go red. At least I freaking hope not. But what I was about to say before my computer betrayed me, I think that Katie Porter is somebody that can reach across the aisle with that whiteboard. That's what I was trying to say. Because I think that she can explain it in a way. That's her talent. That she can hold both sides accountable. She can hold these agencies accountable. I believe the way that she explains where the money is supposed to go, there's no politics involved in that. Does that make sense? And so that's why I think people, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, that's why I think you should support Katie Porter. I really, truly believe that she is someone that wants to protect the finances of the state and the taxpayer. And so that's why I think she should win. Not that I'm, I am actually using this platform to totally politic for her. But I do think that she's the best candidate for California. I really
she
do.
is. I just ran through the list because if it's not Katie Porter, listen to the list again and tell me who you pick other than her. Katie Porter, Eleni Kounalakis, our lieutenant governor, Antonio Villaraigosa, former LA mayor, Javier Becerra, who was Secretary of Health and Human Services and involved in California politics, California Attorney General, Tony Atkins, Betty Yee, Stephen Klubeck, Tony Thurmond. Those are the Democratic choices thus far.
Yeah.
So if it's not Katie Porter, which one of those rises to the top for you?
Right. No. And nothing against Kounalakis, you know what I mean? But what has she done? You know what I mean? Like and I'm not knocking her, but when you're going for governor, you have to make your, mark. And as governor, as congresswoman, she's made a mark. And California, what are we, 4th, 5th? What economy are we right now? You're on a huge stage. She's got to go toe to toe. And Gavin Newsom is leaving gigantic shoes and a lot of hair gel. You know what I mean? So you're stepping into a gigantic stage is what I'm saying. And I think Katie Porter's ready for it. I don't know if everybody else is.
Antonio Villaraigosa and Javier Becerra would likely be the first Latino men in that role of governor.
Right.
Does either one of those people sing to you if you didn't have Porter as a choice?
Villaraigosa, I feel like carries some baggage. Javier Becerra, I feel like carries some baggage, and I'm not off the top of my head remembering what it is. Villaraigosa has LA baggage.
He has LA baggage. I think Javier Becerra, he might be if I didn't have Porter as an option, I might scoot over behind Javier Becerra. I could see that happening.
Yeah, but no, Katie Porter, hands down.
Right now,
but I'm also excited for her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited to have her as the governor.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her. Every time she brings out the whiteboard, I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Let's do it. And I'm excited. Exactly. She's fierce, assertive, smart, capable. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like the race is done. And I know people are going to bring up what was it? Last, like some crap with her ex-husband. Like, you know what? We already did all that crap, that rigmarole.
Domestic thing. Yeah. They're going to trot it out though. They always do.
Whatever. We're done. Name recognition. Yeah. Especially in California. I mean, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think Katie Porter all the way. All right.
Yvonne says Kamala, according to Sue-Ann and Yvonne, Kamala will be on Colbert tonight.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that as well. Did you also hear what Trump was saying? That Trump, we'll talk about this also. Well, we could just briefly mention it. We were going to talk about it that much because he's redoing the presidential fitness test. And so he was like, he had a press conference today, how he's bringing that back. The competition, like he could do the presidential fitness test, but whatever. But then he was like being asked questions towards the end of this press conference. I was listening to it, and he's trying to talk about Kamala Harris as if she had no name recognition beforehand. Like, I saw Donald Trump. He's so threatened by women. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yes, Kamala Harris is going to be on Colbert. I don't know. I think Kamala Harris needs to campaign for other people. I think she still needs a little bit of time to lick the wounds. I hear what you're saying about maybe 2028. I don't know. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but I wonder if she kind of blew her shot a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think she would have been, I mean, obviously anybody is better than what we've got. Do you think she would have been a good president?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think she would have been absolutely capable. Yeah. I mean, it's so hard because of what we've been experiencing since Obama. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not that Biden wasn't capable, but it's just in comparison to what we had to deal with before Biden, and now after Biden and the trauma. So it's so hard to keep things in perspective. So, like the bar is so effing low.
I know.
So it's like,
but she rose it for me. Do you remember? It was on this show. And there was a horrible mass shooting, and we've had so many, I've forgotten which one it was. But she happened to be doing a campaign stop in a big arena, and she stopped her pre-programmed spiel that she gives.
I remember what you're talking about.
And she started talking about what happened and said something that affected me to this day, which is, it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
You remember when she said that?
Yeah.
And I stopped and I thought, damn it, she's absolutely right. It doesn't have to be this way.
Right.
We could change this if we really wanted to.
Right.
I
And to have a leader,
yeah.
but also to have a leader that could speak from the heart again.
Yep.
We don't have that. Donald Trump, I mean, yeah, he speaks from this space within himself, this ego, right? But I think the one of many things that I dislike about Trump is the lack of empathy.
Oh yeah.
He has no empathy. And he can't walk into a situation, and he's not the consoler in chief. I would never in a million years, if there's a tragedy, turn on the television and think that I'm going to be finding any sort of comfort from the president of the United States. I have never, ever felt any comfort from him. He'll comfort himself. He'll praise himself. He'll be like, oh my God, this hurt me in some way. He will find one way to turn whatever situation is to comfort himself, but never in a million years will be turned to the American public. And that's what I think I personally, as an American, missed from Obama, Biden, and I think Kamala would have been great at that as well.
Kevin says Trump has no empathy for his own kids even. I know this might be controversial and maybe naughty.
Ooh, let's
because you don't really talk about this in relation to the president of the United States. But do you know what the definition of the word whore is?
What?
I mean, I can look it up, but if I had to give it off the cuff, I would say a whore is someone who will do anything for money, right? Including and not limited to selling their body.
Right.
I really think he fits that definition. He is all about money.
Money. Yeah.
Whatever he can do, he will sell a Bible. He will sell his soul. He will sell whatever. He'll sell our national forest. Whatever it is, he wants to just show me the money. Tell me how much I got. I think a whore is applicable when it comes to Trump. And so, I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, I mean, look what he's spending money on. Look what he's spending money on. I mean, just today they're talking about this ballroom that needs to be
$200 million for a ballroom at the East Wing. Did we not have a perfect facility for hosting state dinners? It's got. I mean, how many years?
Where's
have we had the White House
for that?
Like exactly.
Unnecessary expense. About.
Katie Porter would draw the red line through it. Teacher Lori would take a red pen. No ballroom.
The hypocrisy of the wants versus needs. You know what I mean? And that's my problem with him is it's so blatant, and it was all a grift. It was all bullshit. You know what I mean? And the amount of money they're praising, GOP is praising the tariff revenue. You mean the taxes you've gotten from Americans? Like, it's insane that they're actually advertising the amount of money they've made from taxes on Americans as if it's a good thing. Yeah. And up is down and down is up, I guess, in this world. It's crazy.
Sandy says, crazy. I suppose our taxes are going to pay for the new ballroom. Yes. And actually, they are not. What he said is, or what his spokesperson, Caroline Levitt, said today, is that it will come from Trump and unnamed donors. Now, that should give you pause. Who are the donors? What do they want in return? What are we now on the hook for as Americans because somebody gave 10, 20, whatever million toward the cost of a ballroom that's completely unnecessary?
Trump does nothing unless he gets something for it. Nothing. That new Air Force One. What do you think? No, the American, either the taxpayer or America itself, is on the hook for something. So no. we're on the hook.
Yeah. We're on the hook one way or another. It's coming for us.
We're getting screwed one way or the other. You know what I mean? So
Luis says Trump is completely transactional. He would welcome a dark-skinned Colombian drug lord to America if that guy would purchase the $5 million Trump gold card.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Great point. Absolutely. I mean, again, okay, so let's transition to the Epstein thing, because let's just talk about these pardons. Okay. Let's just talk about the fact that he said out loud that he's allowed to pardon Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's demanding, immunity to testify before Congress. She is not a good witness. You can't trust anything she says.
So if she came out and said Trump was all over this thing, he was at the island 50 times and he, had relations with all of these underage young girls, you wouldn't believe it?
I believe it anyway. But she's not a good witness without evidence. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's already testified, and she already testified that there wasn't, right? But she was already convicted off of other evidence.
Sure.
But her original testimony was not that. If she goes in and says, I want all this stuff from the president, what do you think she's going to say? She's not a reliable witness. Anything she says, the other side's not going to believe anyway. Does that make sense? So she would need to have tapes. We would need to have logs. She would need to have something more than just her word for America as a whole to believe it. Does that make sense? I already know that Donald Trump was on that island. I already know that Donald Trump is friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
He says he was never. He said he never had the privilege.
The privilege to be with a sex abuser, a child molester.
But he said Bill Clinton was there. He said 28 times.
How do you know? How
right.
do you know?
Because either you were there or there's documents stating such, right?
So Maxwell is not a reliable witness. I don't think she should get any immunity. I think that unless she has concrete proof of whatever she is testifying besides her word, there's no point. There's no point unless she has something more than just her word. There is absolutely no point in talking to this woman at all. If only you believed the other women. If only you believed that the Virginia woman that has already passed away. It's so sad that we need men to say it for other people to believe it, but apparently that needs to happen. I don't know. Do you guys think that she should be given any sort of immunity or deal to be spoken to? Because I just don't believe anyone's gonna believe what she says on either side.
So one of the victims in this case, her name is Virginia Jeffrey.
Yeah, she's passed away already, though.
She did not survive this mental strain. And her family is begging Trump not to give a pardon to Ghislaine Maxwell. They also say they're really shocked that Trump knew, according to Trump's own words, that Epstein stole her from Mar-a-Lago. And Trump knew what kind of guy Epstein was and allowed her to be stolen, that Trump was aware that one of his people was taken for this. And I thought this was interesting. When you talk about the possible pardon of Jeffrey, Maxwell, pardon me. Here's what Jeffrey said. Jeffrey called Maxwell, this is from CBS News. Jeffrey called Maxwell the mastermind behind the alleged sex trafficking in an interview with CBS News' Gayle King in 2020. Here's what she said about Maxwell. This is the victim saying Maxwell is a monster. She's worse than Epstein. She did things even worse than Epstein did. She was vicious. She was evil. And she's a woman. She said Jeffrey told King, the article says, Jeffrey told King that Maxwell could incriminate very well-known people. Jeffrey said she was flown around the world for appointments with men, very famous men, when she was 17 and 18 years old. Of course, all the men denying it now. But some, like Prince Andrew, have settled with her for an undisclosed sum. And I don't know. I mean, I believe the victim in this case. I just really do.
Absolutely. And I will also say this. I mean,
could
Maxwell have been an early victim of Jeffrey Epstein? Maybe. You know what I mean? Perhaps. Or could she just have been sick in the head just like Jeffrey Epstein? Who knows? You know what I mean? I don't put it past women to be that sick in the head as well. Let's not, go that far. But all I am saying is you do not pardon a woman that is in prison for being a child molester and colluding with a child molester. No, she is a monster. Exactly.
A vicious monster. Evil. That's what Jeffrey said.
These children into the island under the pretense of working. She's awful. And you don't make deals with people like that. Then he has the audacity, Trump, to say, oh, I might even pardon Sean Diddy Combs. Who says things like this out loud? Why would you even say things like this? And this is a guy that is your president of the United States. And that's my point. It's like, this guy, there's something wrong with this dude. You know what I mean? Why do you want to pardon people that have done the most or accused of the most atrocious crimes imaginable? Like, why would you not want to pardon people that have, done minor crimes, or are on death row or are in prison for crimes that aren't crimes anymore? Like child abuse?
Nope.
Abuse, like domestic violence. What the hell are you talking about?
There was one expert that I was listening to recently who was on one of the Sunday news shows and said, or one of the news shows, and said there's really only one answer when asked if you're going to pardon a child sex trafficker. And the answer is pretty much hell no.
Exactly.
Like, to say anything else is unthinkable. How could you get that wrong? It's a softball, right?
Exactly.
There is no other answer. A child sex trafficker of this magnitude, of course you won't pardon that person.
Well,
unless right,
you're involved.
Exactly. Thank you.
But it doesn't make him look good. I mean, there was a poll from the Washington Post, and this isn't going away. They found most Americans, 86%, support releasing all the files related to Epstein. 58% say they disapprove of the way Trump's handling the issues relating with the Epstein files. 16% approve, which I don't understand. 26 had no opinion. Among self-described MAGA Republicans, 43% said they approve of Trump. 39 had no opinion. 17 disapprove. I don't know how anyone can approve of how Trump's handling it, except they're like, well, he says he's going to get to the bottom. Let's get the files. But whatever. As long as the story stays in the headlines, that's all we can do. And in all honesty, I'll say this is my last thing. I don't care if Democrats are in the fight. I mean, I care, but I don't care if Bill Clinton, I don't care if Joe Biden, I don't care if Democrats are all over those files. It doesn't matter to me. I want every single person that has committed this atrocity and involved in it to be held accountable. That's what every person should want. Every person should want.
If the files are ever released, and if they show all these names of, Trump's adversaries, but his name is only mentioned, on the periphery, do we really believe that? Because right now, I think the people that have access to those files are editing, going over, making the files say what they want to say. I don't now trust that they've been in the hands of the devil.
Well, the problem though, Kim, with that is they've already been out there. You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying, like, oh, they're redacting, but they've already been out. I don't know if they could pull back all of the files and redact everything. I hear what you're saying though. I mean, there's a worry. I truly don't believe people think that Donald Trump's not involved. I think they're telling themselves that. Donald Trump will release the files in 2080. It is what it is. I think people are just gonna swallow it, and if they don't want to talk about it. I think Donald Trump is acting guilty, and people are either going to accept it and still vote for him because that's what they want to do, or they're just separating themselves for it. I mean, you see people like Joe Rogan and all them being like, that guy's guilty as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's surprising to see people like that. Andrew Schultz, these male focused podcasters that are like, nah, I can't believe that this guy isn't part of it. And that's surprising to a lot of these MAGA people being like, uh-oh, my kind of leader in the podcast news world isn't buying Trump's bullshit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I have a question. I have a question about Virginia Jeffrey, because she worked at Mar-a-Lago, and he said that he remembered her. She was 16 years old when she was stolen from Mar-a-Lago by Jeffrey Epstein, recruited away to be a masseuse for Epstein.
Right.
16 years old. I don't know what she was doing at Mar-a-Lago, but does it give you pause to wonder why a 16-year-old girl was working in the spa at Mar-a-Lago? Because what's going on at Mar-a-Lago? Isn't a spa where you have licensed masseuses that have gone through, massage school, or that are more well established? If you have the great spa that he says it is, why would you have a 16-year-old girl in your spa running the front desk? Likely not.
That's underage. And why does Donald Trump remember her? Why does he remember her out of the thousands of people that work at Mar-a-Lago?
Right.
Why do you remember that you're mad at Epstein for taking her? Could it be because
I think she worked in the spa? He said, I think that was one of the people. Yeah, he stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, none whatsoever. So he knew that too, that she had never complained about working there.
Because she did complain, because she had complained that she was SA'd. That's why Donald Trump remembers her. It's sad. And if people would have believed her back then, maybe something would have been done. I mean, all of these documentaries came out years ago, guys. We talked about this years ago, and it's just awful. It's absolutely awful.
16 working in the spa, huh?
Well,
at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, does that not alone give you pause?
It's awful. It's awful. It's awful.
And working for Trump at Mar-a-Lago at 16.
Exactly. It's just, it's absolutely disturbing. Okay. Let's move on to the other thing that's been driving people crazy. And that's a little bit, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about this. It is the American Eagles great jeans ad. You know who Sydney Sweeney is? She's gorgeous.
I didn't until I saw her. What has she been in? Like, what has she done? Why is she famous?
You probably don't. Well, do you have HBO?
Yeah, HBO Max. It's one of the very few that I subscribe to.
I guess you probably never watched the show Euphoria.
I haven't watched it, no.
Yeah, it's very
okay.
sexual.
So she's been in a series.
Oh, very much so. She's gorgeous. She's been on SNL. She was in a movie recently. She's beautiful. She has great genes. Anyways, she's beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed. She did this ad for American Eagle. I'm going to show you the ad. All right, here's the ad. If I would have seen this ad and not, hold on. Oh, damn it. I really hope I'm not getting, okay, here. Let's see. Here's the ad. Okay, here we go. Hopefully I'm not, I hope I'm not. Let's go. Here we go.
Nope. Is it coming?
Is it coming? Oh, come on.
Nope.
Oh, wait. Okay, let's see. Let me refresh it. I was hoping that it would just play, but maybe my computer's just being a pain in the ass right now. All right. Well, while this buffers, let's see if my computer's not going to betray me and it's going to drop me out. If you haven't heard the controversy, then you've been under a hole. Anyways, Sydney Sweeney. Oh, just exit this page. Let's forget it. I'll just describe it. Sydney Sweeney is this blonde woman, and she's in this American Eagles ad, and she's dressed head to toe in blue denim. Okay. And she says something to the effect of, I have blonde hair, I have blonde eyes. I have great genes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have it? And it's the play on jeans, blue jeans, and jeans with a G. And she's like, but my jeans are blue, as in blue jeans. Okay. Everyone starts getting into an uproar because they're saying that this has something to do with eugenics, that everyone is that it's basically hold on, here we go. Hold on, here we go. Here, I got it up. I want to play it for you because it'll make sense. It'll make sense. Yeah, take the picture down. It'll make sense if you freaking hear it. Here we go.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
There you go. That's the ad.
Okay.
If you saw that ad, what would you think? Just that ad.
I think I'm uncomfortable with the young woman and her, throwing her sexuality around, but whatever. She got to make her money. She's of age, right?
Right.
But I wouldn't think eugenics. I would think a play on our genes that we all carry, regardless of what they are. A play on the word genes.
Right.
J versus G. That's what I would.
Right.
That's where I would go there. Yeah.
Okay. So some critics claim that the usage of the word genes, right, is talking about, eugenics and what is good versus bad, and that it's Nazism. It's this dog whistle to people. Heather says it sounds like a dog whistle. I want you guys to tell me in the comments. I just played you that ad. Just in that ad. Would you have thought that? Without any sort of commentary from anyone else, without social media commentary from anyone else, if you saw that ad on television, would you have been like, oh my God, that is a total racist ad? Kevin says, just maybe, kind of racist, just maybe. Now, and I'm going to add this caveat. Have you ever said to somebody that has maybe gorgeous hair or gorgeous skin color or gorgeous whatever, fill in the blank, they got great genes?
I think I've thought it when you're kind of like this. You have someone who never has to really worry about weight a day in their life because they're naturally thin and they're naturally something. They have this great metabolism and they never have to even think about it.
Right.
And those people, I go, oh, they just have those great genes, right?
Now, is that racist or?
I don't mean it in a racist way. I just mean in the scheme of the gene pool, you got lucky that you don't have to worry about whether you eat a piece of chocolate cake or not.
Well, what does lucky mean? What does lucky mean? What do you mean lucky? Is that racist? I mean,
is it sizist? I guess you could say that I'm glad that for you that you don't have to worry about where the fattening things go. I don't think of it as that, but maybe I'm not thinking clearly. Maybe I need to be educated. Maybe I need to be woke.
So Washington Post fashion critic Rachel Tajajian says the tagline is simply bizarre. Are they trying to say that what matters is not what you look like, but what you put on your body? Or or that you are assigned a denim style at birth and you must never waver from it? Also, is Sweeney the every girl or the only girl? And then I'm going to go off to this is why people hate liberals. And I'm going to use liberally. Okay. Sometimes we die on hills that don't need to be died on. Okay. Yeah. Teacher Lori, not eugenics. These people are ridiculous. Like, are we looking for things to be upset about? If I saw that ad on my television, I'm going to be completely honest. Never in a million years would I have been offended. I would have been like, she's hot.
Yeah.
She's talking about her blue jeans.
Right.
My jeans are blue.
I might wonder why she's using that gravelly voice.
That's how she talks.
Of her generation.
Yeah, it's kind of like that vocal fry, kind of like Stephen Colbert actually made a joke about it on his show. It was really, really funny.
But I wouldn't think it was racist either. We all have good things about us, regardless of our race, creed, whatever. You have this beautiful curly hair and a great metabolism and gorgeous eyes. I like my green eyes. You can't see them from here, but I got them from my dad, and so they mean something to me. I love Julia's red hair, came from the genes. There are things about us that we have no control over, and
that you can be proud of.
We lucked into because we happen to like that about ourselves, and that's okay. That's okay. Whether you have gorgeous, big, beautiful brown eyes like Nikki or whatever, it's okay to talk about genes. Not all genes are. It's not only the blue-eyed, blonde-haired, whatever. And I don't think Sydney Sweeney does have blue eyes and blonde hair, does she?
Does. Yeah, so she has blue-eyed, blonde hair. Now, here's my other question. Maybe it's because these ads are featuring blonde hair, blue-eyed. Now, if it was someone that looked like, and I'm just going to pull, what if it was a beautiful mahogany woman, right? With dark hair and dark features and beautiful black skin. And she said, my genes are blue. And it wasn't a blue-eyed, blonde-haired person that said it. Would people still be in an uproar? Because she's got beautiful skin and beautiful hair. I think it's because it's
like Lupita Nyong'o. That would have been a great choice for that ad, wouldn't it? Right? Because there's nothing blue on her, and when she said my genes are blue, it would have been obviously about the blue. Yeah, but
so it's the Aryan. I think it's the Aryan dog whistle that people are pointing to. So it has to be blue, it has to be white, it has to be blonde. But if it wasn't, because I'm sorry, I look at some of these dark haired, dark skinned, beautiful women. I'm like, damn, I wish I had your skin, right? Like,
yeah, I do.
But it's because they're not automatically chosen for these ad campaigns that people are like, why didn't you? And maybe that is a blank spot, in ad campaigns. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's a dog whistle. Does that make sense?
I do. I think we can be oversensitive. And I think what you just hit on, and Teacher Lori says they were trying to be clever and missed. Right. I think what you hit on is kind of at the fringe of why Trump is in office.
And that's exactly what he said. Yes.
Progressives are going to a place that is so over. Right? If they scaled it back a little bit and made the argument more toward like, hey, maybe that has the overtones of racism or maybe whatever. Right. But then you go like out on the edge. I just feel like it's too much for some people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's again, of all of the things that are happening in the world, this.
And that's what this is, Meredith. Not worth so much discussion, making a mountain out of a molehill. And that is why Trump was successful, because people were talking about trans rights and renaming everything. And a lot of people in the United States, maybe they thought there are more important things than this. I'm worried about the price of eggs and you're worried about the name on the school. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, so Megyn Kelly, who we know, a former Fox News host, they're like, she says, she being, pardon me, Sydney Sweeney is being called a white supremacist by people who don't like her latest ad, which is for American Eagle. She's advertising jeans, and yet the lunatics on the left think she's advertising white supremacy. This is obviously a reference to her body, not to her skin color, but the lunatic left is going to do what the lunatic left is going to do. And I hate saying it, but it's like, yeah, it's an ad for jeans that played off for jeans. And I'm sorry, if I see someone with gorgeous eyes, whether they're brown, because there's gorgeous brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, everything in between, I'm like, God, you got good genes. It doesn't have to be blue-eyed, blonde-haired. It just has to be God. Whatever your family passed down to you, that little cocktail that made up you, gorgeous. That's all that means.
That's right.
That's all that. And if you take it to mean something else, I can't change that for you. But that's not what I meant. And that's the problem. It is that we could take that ad and we could make it a dog whistle. And I'm sure that there are some people that are on the far right that are like, yes, it's a dog whistle for me. Okay. But it wasn't necessarily a dog whistle when it was made. It's a jeans ad that's a pun on jeans and jeans. I mean,
Right.
come on.
That's all it is. Something simple.
You
But
know?
now the company should probably hire people of different races and have them all do the same ad. If they're going to stick to this tagline,
Right.
so that they have a multitude of different looking people that are saying the same thing, and that then it's very clear that racism was
Yeah.
not what the intent was. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. But then it kind of
I
seems
don't
like
know, Nikki.
pandering. And then it's like, rah, 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 rah. You
It's
know what I
true.
mean? Like, don't pander
Yeah.
to me, but just think about it. Because there are beautiful, everyone can be beautiful. What was it? Benetton? Is that what it was? Remember they
Yeah.
always had like the people of all the different,
Mhm.
like, I am telling you, I look at some people and they're just like, God, they're gorgeous. And they're not all blonde hair, blue eyed people. Like,
Right.
just be more creative. But Sydney Sweeney, pardon me, is having her moment right now. Maybe you don't know SNL. Like, she's the it girl right now. You know what I mean? That's why she's in the ad. That's it. She has big tits and blonde hair, blue eyed, and that's it. Like, and she's like in movies and shit. Like, there you go. That's why she's in the ad. It's not because she, it's not
Right.
some Aryan, white supremacy shit. So, like, come on. It's exactly. And diversity is a good thing because you want people of different races that look different ways to buy your jeans. And I have American Eagle jeans. My big old round butt fits in them. You know what I mean? I don't look like Sydney Sweeney. Shit. All right. Anyways, so everybody cool their
Stop
jobs.
it. You're gorgeous.
You know what I mean? It's fine.
Mm-mm.
It's fine. Exactly. I'm saying that, but I just don't look like Sydney Sweeney is all I'm saying. And it's absolutely fine. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let's dip in. Okay, so it started. I don't know if you were here when I was teasing it, but Ron Wyden has started his Epstein thing. Let's see if we can dip into it. I had the link and I freaking lost it for a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Ron Wyden has the follow the money thing on Epstein's let's listen into a little. We're not going to do the whole thing.
So he's a senator from Oregon, is that right?
And he's doing the follow the money Epstein thing. Let's just listen in a little bit.
Maybe I'm not right. Is that
they should have been watchdogging this?
Here we go.
They should have brought to law enforcement what they believe was going on. One of the key changes I'm going to push for is writing new black letter law that makes sure that there will be civil and criminal sanctions when banks see this sort of activity and they look the other way. I've come to feel that there's some issues that aren't considered blue or red. That's the case with sex trafficking. People believe it's just plain wrong. They understand that women and young girls are getting hurt, and they want to know what happened, and they want the answers.
Yep. Thanks, Ron Wyden. Is that it? What's he gonna do? So he's gonna do a follow the money thing? I hope it's way more interesting than this.
Did we miss it?
I hope not. Is that it, Ron? Okay.
That feels over to me.
That felt over. All right. Well, thanks, Ron. That was very, very rich. Okay, Ron, you have to work on your. It's only 8 minutes in. That was very.
But it is true, and it is important because for people that are saying, "Listen, we won't be able to trust the files," they say that following the money and the banks and the money that changed hands, like those are the key pieces to this whole thing as well. Absolutely. Very important to follow the finances. Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of money, and these are words I never thought were going to come out of my mouth. I agree with Josh Hawley. Did you see the whole Pelosi Act thing? I am loving the fact that Donald Trump calls out Josh Hawley, who I cannot stand, but that Josh Hawley was the lone Republican voting with Democrats on something he dubbed the Pelosi Act, which is really, really funny. So if you haven't heard,
by the way, Pelosi stood up and approved. She's like, that's great.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So the Pelosi Act is called Preventing Elected Leaders from Owning Securities and Investments. I love that Pelosi is supporting it after she's out of office, of course. So like, whatever. But anyways, and I'm going to play you a clip of Josh Hawley talking about this. And he makes an excellent point. I will give Josh Hawley, and again, it hurts me to say this because I can't stand the dude. He's absolutely right. And I love the fact that he has a little bit of a spine and a backbone for this issue, because he's absolutely right in everything he says right here. Here we go.
We have an opportunity here today to do something that the public has wanted us to do for decades, and that is to ban members of Congress from profiting on information that, frankly, only members of Congress have in the buying and selling of stock. 86% of Americans say that members of Congress should not be able to buy and sell shares of stock, individual stock, while they are members of this body. And they are absolutely correct. And the reason is, you can see it. There was just another ethics referral in the House last week. We've seen the former Speaker of the House make millions of dollars in profits. We've seen members of both parties, I'm sad to say, be investigated for their stock trades. And the reason for all of this is that, quite frankly, members of this body are privy to information that the normal person just is not. Now, is that insider trading? It is not under the laws. Sometimes people say, well, we already have insider trading laws. We don't need a stock ban. Well, the information that members of Congress are privy to is technically not covered by the insider trading laws, but nobody really believes that the information that we get isn't valuable. It is quite valuable, which is why back during COVID, you saw members of Congress of both parties engage in a flurry of stock trading right after they were getting COVID briefings. Were members of the public getting those briefings? They were not. Were members of the public privy to the kind of information that was being given to members of Congress? No, they were not. And so when you look at what members of Congress are privy to, what they are able to trade on, the access that they have, it's just qualitatively different than your average Joe or Jane, which is why we ought to put into place common sense guardrails that say, if you want to be a member of Congress, you can put you want to save, great. You can buy mutual funds. You can buy broadly diversified investment vehicles. You should not be able to buy and trade individual stock shares, in which, frankly, we have an interest in the work that we do. We have information that no other people get, no other members of the public have. This bill would finally redress that.
Well, God, Dave makes that point, which I didn't even think of. The
This
members
covers
will just have the significant others buy and
it
sell.
covers spouses too, though. It
Okay,
really
good.
does.
I was like, I
Mhm.
hope so. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean,
And
and
here's Trump.
and
Here's what
Donald
he has to
Trump's
say. He comes out
pissed off.
and he is like, why would one Republican Senator, Josh Hawley from the great state of Missouri, join with Democrats to block a review sponsored by Senator Rick Scott with the support of almost all other Republicans of Nancy Pelosi's stock trading over the last 25 years? The information was inappropriate released just minutes before the vote, very much like sabotage. The Democrats, because of our tremendous achievements in capital and success in capitals, have been trying to target me for a long period of time, and they're using Josh Hawley, who I got elected twice, as a pawn to help them. I wonder why Hawley would pass a bill that Nancy Pelosi is in absolute love with. He's playing right into the dirty hands of the Democrats. It's a great bill for her and her husband, but so bad for our country. Blah, 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 blah,
He puts
blah.
husband in quotes as if it's not her husband.
So weird. Come on. He calls him a second-tier senator named Josh Hawley. This is a guy, Hawley has been a Trump ally.
Oh, he's
Are
a
you
huge
kidding me?
Trumper. He's a huge Trumper.
Come on.
I mean, Hawley said that he responded to Trump's sharp criticism. He says, well, that's not the worst thing that's been said about me even today. He said, I had a good chat with the president earlier this evening. He reiterated to me he wants to see a ban on stock trading by people like Nancy Pelosi and members of Congress. But yeah, I think it's an excellent bill. Like, are you kidding me? I'm actually shocked that Hawley supports it. It's the fact that lawmakers vote against it tells you everything that you need to know, obviously. It should never be allowed. It should never be allowed. But here's an interesting I just had to play him because I love Pete Buttigieg. You know I love him. So Pete Buttigieg was being asked about this, and he just had a little bit to say about the false equivalency between this bill and just kind of Republicans and Democrats on all of this. Here's what he said.
When you say false equivalency, what are the one or two that really get to you?
Well, for example, this idea that like both sides are equally corrupt. Don't get me wrong. There have been, spectacular specific instances of Democratic politicians who turned out to be corrupt. But, and by the way, I think the stock trading is a huge problem and they shouldn't be doing that. No one from either party should be part of that. But the idea that there's any comparison with a president who's trying to take a secondhand jumbo jet from a foreign country, or setting up a crypto system that basically is the same as giving the numbers to a Swiss bank account for anybody who wants to randomly drop him money that he can then personally have.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing remotely comparable to that from either party in the modern history of this country. And we should not pretend that it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Right.
So Trump is basically the most corrupt out of any of the sides. So for him to be all up in arms about this bill,
laughable.
Trump is always the biggest grifter out of all of them. So, you know, him being all up in arms about it. He is scamming. He is the biggest scammer, and he's doing it right in front of everybody's eyes. And it boggles my mind how everyone's allowing him to do it. The whole, it's crazy.
You know, I was reading that this bill that Holly is supporting does not affect Trump. It will affect future presidents, but not the current president. So it doesn't affect him anyway. I don't know why he's so upset over it. Because all his buddies won't be able to make money.
I know. It's stupid. I mean, it's absolutely dumb. Like whatever. But yeah, I think he just doesn't like the fact that he had a Republican voting with Democrats and it made him look bad. Like I think that's probably what he just didn't like the most. But I mean, anybody that has that kind of information, like Holly was saying, and the fact that he brought up what was happening during COVID, how dirty that is, how awful that is. And people were losing their asses. You know what I mean? Yeah. Businesses were going under. People were losing their homes, their livelihoods. And these people in Congress were making tons of money after these COVID briefings. That's just dirty. I mean, it's just absolutely dirty. It's ridiculous. I mentioned this before today. President Donald Trump has reestablished the presidential fitness test for American children.
Get out there and do those sit-ups, kids.
It gauged young people's health and athleticism with 1 mile run, sit-ups, and stretching exercises. Anybody in the comments remember the days of doing shit like that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I remember having to do the 1 mile. Like you had to go around the track, like I don't know, depending on how big your track was, like 4 or 6 times or whatever like that. I just remember like walking it. You know what I mean? If you didn't want to run it, you could walk it, and just being yelled at by your PE teacher, they had to get going. I never had to do, and I don't know when it ended, climbing the rope, or you know, I don't know what year that ended, or doing anything like that. I remember doing, you know, push up, competitions and pull-ups and things like that. But that definitely ended in, I guess I went through a K through 8. So what, junior high or something like that. But Trump was saying, he's like, or RFK, I want to bring back the competition of it all. Do you think the competition in fitness tests is necessary? I mean, does competition in fitness benefit kids in a way of kind of urging them to stay in shape?
No.
And I asked this question, not in, and I'm not disparaging the whole fitness test. That's a whole nother conversation. But I'm thinking like, you know, the whole like idea of like the Biggest Loser TV show, or even apps where you compete with your friends, like kind of sticking to, you know, fitness or weight loss goals. Is that healthy for children?
I think when it comes to kids, they can be brutal to each other. And if you have a kid that can't do the right amount of pull-ups or sit-ups or push-ups or whatever it is, or run the mile, they are definitely made fun of. And I don't see that as a benefit. I really want PE funding. I think instead of worrying about PE tests, we should make sure schools have PE funding. Right now, my child's school is at risk for not having PE because it costs $30,000 to hire an outside agency to come in and teach PE, and the PTA funds that, and we don't have enough money this year to pay for it all. So we might. The question mark is, are we going to have PE this year? It's important to teach kids that movement is important, that activity is important, that taking care of yourself is important. I love the chance for them to move during the day and to learn about the exercise being an important part of a healthy lifestyle. Do we need to get them out there and say who can run the fastest mile? No. You're
Yeah.
always going to have kids that succeed in that. They're going on to junior high and high school, and they're going to sign up to be on the track team and the basketball team and whatever else. And that's fine. There's always going to be kids that are good at that, but we
Yeah.
don't need to highlight the ones that are crappy at it.
Right. I mean, RFK during the press conference, he's like, I remember it was a big deal to win, the fitness test or whatever. I mean, we didn't give trophies. I don't know. I mean, he's much older. I don't know if they did that back then. Gordon says, I was made fun of for not doing enough pull-ups. I remember trying to do a pull-up when I was a kid. I was like, there's no friggin' way I could do one of these. Like,
Yeah.
I attempted to do one. Heather says, I always hated those tests. So embarrassing. Kids are a-holes to each other. Yeah.
Yes, Christy, that's exactly right.
She says, I teach my own kids to find something they love to be physical, but you don't have to be the best. Find a way to move. Exactly. Whether it's walking, running. Dylan, my son, he's this kick. Does anyone know the app Strava? Have you guys heard of that app? You'll often see it when people will bike or run and make a message.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
So my husband told Dylan, my son, about it. So Dylan the other day, he decided to ride his bike like randomly, like 12 miles just because he had this Strava app. And I'm like, okay, kid, like you got to tell me if you're going to be riding 12 miles just randomly throughout the day. But yeah, Dylan's had this like biking and running kick, talking about jeans. Didn't pass down from this one. It's like, I know those jeans, you got that from that one, not from this one over here. But yeah, and I love that about him. I'm like, good, run, bike, move, like whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be something you dance, right? Like whatever gives
Just
you
move.
Joy, move around.
As Heather says, that it's okay to be the person that can do the stretch things and the pull-ups and to be healthy and in shape, but not be an athlete, right?
Yes, exactly. Yvonne, generally it was not a good experience. One of my friends was in gymnastics and she was great. I was happy for her and I was average. Yeah, wrestling, karate, yoga, right? Like you don't have to be the one that's like sweating to the oldies, right? Like it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's something that you have to enjoy moving or you're just going to hate it. Adolf says, I use marching band to fill my P requirements.
You got to carry those heavy instruments and march all the way all over the field. Yeah.
Julia knows, right?
Yes,
I
she
mean,
does.
it's a lot of walking and a lot of doing all that stuff. I just feel like people underestimate, like they see it has to be baseball, football, whatever, those, traditional type of sports. And it's not, but I have, if he wants, and I'm talking about the president, wants to put more money into physical education, I'm all for it.
Right.
As long as it's not doing a mental detriment to these children in some sort of way. You know what I mean? Like, can we not make it like everyone has to do dodgeball and get hit in the head or something? You know what I mean? Let's just encourage children to move in whatever way. But the way RFK was saying it, he wants to bring back the competition. Phineas, how about passing a law that president and Congress, politicians and judges must pass the presidential fitness test? I don't even think that's a bad idea.
Right.
Lead by example. How about we get you all out on the West Lawn or the East Lawn or whatever? You show us how it's done, RFK. Let's see you run the mile, right? Or half mile. Let's see how in shape our lawmakers are for the rest of America. Let's see. You know what I mean? Lead by example.
Yeah.
I bet they can't do it. How much do you guys do? Remember, Biden would always be riding his bike around. I mean, besides golfing, which I will say is a form of exercise with the amount of walking, as long as you're not riding in the cart the whole time, right? Like, let's do it. Do it. Go ahead. Show me, Mr. President, how active you are. Moral
Meredith
fitness
says,
test.
how about a moral fitness test? Yeah.
He'd fail that. I definitely think he'd be failing that as much. But Heather says, eventually I took up jogging on my own, which is only enjoyable because I'm alone and not being judged.
Right.
Yeah. Kevin says, okay, 50 push-ups, pal. Yeah. No. I I've been doing a lot more walking and moving, but it's also summertime, so you're out more. It's during the winter and the fall where you're just like, I'm just doing this, drinking my cocktails.
That's exercise too, Nikki. That's exercise too.
I think I actually said that to somebody. I was out with my girlfriends and I was talking to somebody and they're like, what kind of exercise do you do? And I'm like drinking my cocktails. So I was making a joke, but yeah, pretty much. But yeah.
Oh, you muted yourself again.
No, I know.
There you go.
But yeah, you just have to keep moving, and that's what I always tell my children. Okay, I have a fun story that has nothing to do with news, but does have to do with tech, and I want to show you something. Now, you know how they always talk about things that should be invented, and we talk about AI, and they're taking people's jobs, and we're like, well, I didn't ask you to develop something to take my job. I asked you to develop something to make my life easier.
Right.
Okay. Right. Like, do something that makes my life easier. Did you see this video today? I don't know when it came out. I just saw it today. Now, I will say, I think this is a little bit far from coming to fruition. But they've made a robot, Kim McAllister. Here we go.
What does it do?
Boom. All right. Those are lamps on each side of the bed. Okay. It's the first robot designed to blend into your home. Now watch. And it's gonna fold your laundry. So
it's folding your laundry for you?
So, but you need to have, I guess, nice silky laundry, I guess. I don't know if it'll
Ew,
do.
I don't want those arms on the side of my bed. What if they come
Those
up
are
in the middle of the
lamps.
night and stab me? What is happening with that?
So apparently, yeah. So they want it. So Loom is designed to blend into your home. See, they're just lamps. It's to not be intrusive. And so, yeah. So
I can
that's
fold my own laundry. I don't need Loom help for that.
You know what? I don't need help folding my laundry.
Yeah.
I need help putting it away. That's what I need someone to do.
Exactly.
There is so much
Put it
laundry
away.
folded
Yes.
behind me right now, but it's never put away. Like, it's just never put away. Like,
Yeah.
it'll just stay in the laundry basket, and then I'll dig through it, and then
I have it in little piles, like
Yeah.
here's Julia's pile, here's Jacob's pile, here's my pile, here's David's pile. Inevitably, I'll say, take your pile and put it in your room and put it away. Don't just set it on your bed because then it will get kicked on the floor and I'll have to rewash clean clothes. And every single time I'm rewashing clean clothes.
Scrubbing the wall. Okay, tell me in the comments, what is the one chore that you wish you had a robot to do for you? Let me know in the comments. Scrubbing walls, Mindy? Like, walls? That
Walls
is not a...
Walls
I mean,
get dirty.
They do get dirty, but that wouldn't be like my top chore. You know, the worst thing, so I live in a rental, and my landlord, for some godforsaken reason, painted all of the walls in flat paint and not gloss.
Yeah.
So every scuff, like you can't wash the walls because it's all, even if you want, it'll leave a wet, like I don't know why they did that. As a landlord myself, like, you paint in glossy paint, like, whatever. So that sucks. But I would never. Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't care about my walls that much.
I agree with Kevin. Toilet cleaning, he wants a robot to do that.
So not to do an ad, all the
sheets.
changing sheets, yeah. But then that's also laundry, so you have to pull them off, do it, and then put it back on.
I love Sue Ann. Bathrooms should be like dishwashers. Close the door and set it to clean.
San Francisco used to have those porta potties. Remember, they used to be self-cleaning.
I love Heather's idea. Toilets and baseboards, those little nooks where all the dust gathers in the corner there. That's hard to get up.
Yeah. Bending down and doing chores sucks. The toilet, okay.
Like underneath your stove, have it get underneath there and get all that gross underneath the fridge.
Or on the top above the vent, like on the stove where it gets all greasy and like that like area. And like that's gross. Or
I would love a robot pool cleaner.
That's true.
Yeah.
But don't they have like little things like the little guy?
It's not good enough. You still have to clean your own pool. It just cleans the bottom. Yeah.
I'm doing an ad for something. I've never bought it. So if anybody wants it and wants to buy it and tell me if it works, there's something called Crazy Clean. I don't know if you've seen the ads on Instagram. Crazy Clean. Both of them start with a K.
Yeah.
Apparently, I haven't bought it. I might buy it and try it out for you guys. It's this device. It looks like a little cone. You put it in the back of your toilet.
Right.
And apparently, you never have to wash your toilet. You clean your toilet for 10 years. you clean your toilet and then you put it back there and it takes all the hard water and everything and you never have to clean your toilet again.
I saw the ad for that. Now you're doing an ad for it too?
No, I'm not doing an ad. I heard about it. So if anyone wants, I'm not doing an ad, but I am doing an ad apparently for it right now.
Does it pollute the water supply? Like, is it bad for the world?
I don't know. I don't have one. I'm just saying, I've heard about it. I heard that thing works. And you don't have to get those little blue tabs or anything. Apparently for 10 years, you keep it in the back of your toilet.
10 years?
10 years.
I'm down. There's Julia.
So hi, Julia. Happy birthday.
Nikki says happy birthday.
Thank you, Nikki.
Oh, that's a good one. Meredith picking up the dog poo. Although there's a lot of teenagers that will make that their little
I have one
hustle.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much. I gotta see if they want me to do their dusting. I hate dusting too.
Mm-hmm.
I will say having children to do these chores, like emptying the dishwasher, I just like yelled at them. I'm like, you want me to pay for something? Empty my dishwasher.
Empty the garbage, rolling out those cans every week.
Cleaning your garbage cans.
Yeah.
That's a gross chore. My garbage can is disgusting. I need to like clean that. But
It's
there's
true.
all these, like, these are things I want robots for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need a robot to take my job. I want a robot to do the jobs I don't want to do. I'll do my own job. I just don't want to do the other crappy jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, if you don't want to, I still think that folding laundry one, you know, I want the Jetsons one where you put your laundry in the washing and then it comes out folded. You know, that's what we're still waiting for.
I don't like the wear of that thing, how they're bed table lamps. I imagine those claw-like arms coming down in the middle of the night and trying to grab me. No, that's a no. That's a no-go.
It's all trying to fold the clothes while it's still on you.
No, it needs to look like a robot and it needs to be in a separate area in my bedroom. You're not roboting. There's no electronic arms that could malfunction going on while I'm asleep. No.
That's so funny. Yeah. I mean, I think that they were trying to find a solution to something. Laundry is a hard one, you know, really. A robot dog poop collector. Now that's an idea.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they have the vacuum cleaner. Why not have that dog poop one? Has to be messy though.
Oh, you muted again. I had a friend who had a Roomba and it ran. Oh, sorry.
Roomba, that's what I was thinking.
It had a Roomba and it ran over a dog turd on her in her laundry room.
No.
And whatever reason, the wetness did not do well with the Roomba. And it malfunctioned and it shot dog poo all over the laundry room. And it was on the walls. It was everywhere. It was like dog shit city. And she's like, it was inside the machine. It was on the walls. It was on the washer. I'm like, thank God it was only in your laundry room. But whatever happened with that dog turd, it sent the Roomba into like,
because it has like one of those spinning things to get.
Yeah.
No, that means I'm never going to get a Roomba. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, vacuuming isn't hard. I mean, if I was like in a little tiny place without a dog, I might get a Roomba, but other than that, no.
That's right.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I think that we know what we need robots for. We just don't need them to take. We don't need the robot overlords, you know, taking our jobs anymore. That's for sure. Oh, look, she's like, it's going to be interesting when Steve and I move in together in a few months. I much prefer to clean myself. I don't like having help. I just want to, some people love to clean. I know some people that's how they get their, not only aggression, but their energy out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if I'm angry, I'll angry clean. You know what I mean? It's definitely like get out of my way kind of thing.
Also, when you're living with people, though, it's not necessarily whether they help you do like the nitty gritty cleaning.
Right.
It's why are you leaving all your garbage on the kitchen counter? Like, can you not throw away your paper towel when you're done using it? No. That's the kind of thing when you're living with someone that gets a little, they don't keep things up the same way you want them. No. And so then they make more work for you rather than just the scrubbing and the cleaning. It's like, now you've got to deal with all their stuff on top of yours.
It's the piles. It's piles of this, piles of that, piles of paper, piles of everything. It's just always hard. All right, you guys. Well, that is our show. Thank you all for being here. Please click that thumbs up button and subscribe as well. Tell your friends about the show. And thank you all for being here. The Patreon, the PayPal, Super Chat, Super Stickers are always live. And we appreciate everyone supporting the show so very much. Oh, wait. So we will be back here next Thursday. Tell your friends we are always live for cocktails and news every Thursday, 5 o'clock Pacific. And yes, thank you guys so much for being here. And next Thursday, I will be back at work. So I will be having some stories from the school. So
nice. Looking forward.
Do your kids go back to school next week or no?
August 13th.
What is the date? I'm going to go back to work. The kids aren't back at school yet. So, all right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We love you all so, so very much. Thanks for being here, and tell your friends. Bye-bye. Oh, there we go. Lost it. Where did we go? There he is.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.